This goes out to all the guys who like to play basketball in the rain with no clothes on. This is for you. I know Jesus saves. I wish he'd save us from this podcast. I know he looks after you and me, but I wish he'd take us far away from here.
Chill. Holla. Can you re-angle the camera? Or maybe I'll just do like this. We can both do like this, huh? What do you think? No? What's up, players? What's up, dogs? What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to IDM. Episode 95. Super happy to be here. Super happy to be with you guys. But we got a fun night planned. Very exciting night. That Short's kind of just came up with on his own. Good job, dude. Good job coming up with some calm tent.
Thanks, brah.
But I'm excited to get to it. We're going to spend a lot of tonight talking about a former coworker of ours. But before we do that, yeah, man, have you been? Sorry, we're a little late, guys, but we're trying to figure out what was going on. It's StreamYard's fault this time, not us. Let me turn the light off real quick.
What up, guys? Yeah. So tonight, I don't know. I figured it's been a long time, and I saw this guy rear his very ugly head recently in a Facebook post, and it just got me thinking. I was kind of tweeting about it a little bit this week. I was like, what is our old pal Mike Wise up to? What could Mike Wise be up to these days? Come on, Wise, you can't say that. You just took us off the air.
Shut up.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my god. Wait, we're still here. Oh, thank God. Oh god. Okay. Sorry, guys.
What'd you unplug?
I don't know what I unplugged.
Dude, stop fucking with shit. God damn.
I'm not fucking. I wasn't trying to fuck with shit, dude. Oh, audio works. Cool.
All right. Anyways, I was like, what's our old pal Mike Wise up to?
Yeah. What? Sorry. How did you come up? Like, how did you start thinking about him again?
Well, I popped over to Facebook for the first time, and I don't know. It feels like about 6 months.
Yeah.
I really don't just. I all my family's on there. I just stay away from there. It's just not a fun place for me.
Well, yeah. It's not being fun when they started letting foreigners on.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Sure.
Because, dude, it used to be. Remember, you used to have a college email to get on Facebook, and then they said, "All right, maybe just anybody can get on it." And then all of a sudden, dude, I'm getting tons of friend requests from Ahmed Mahmoud Al Bazir and all these random Bush Arabs, and I'm like, God damn it, dude! Now it's just a foreign hellhole. But yeah, okay. So you saw him on Facebook.
Yeah, and then I found this post, which let's see if I can pull this John up real quick. It struck me as, I don't know, a very Mike Wise type of post.
Okay.
All right. You guys should be able to see that
we
there.
see it.
Come on, Wise. You can't say that.
Hold on.
So 6 days ago, and then I saw this like 2 days ago, Mike Wise says, I quit Twitter today after 15 years, 2 suspensions, months and months of mindless drivel, and a powerful, addictive time suck that stole hours from my life I can never recover. Makes me wonder why I was ever on it. Oh yeah, professional branding. A lot of good that did. Bottom line, I felt like an angry, less hopeful, more mean-spirited person a lot on the platform, and that's not who I am. So I migrated to Blue Sky. Who gives a shit.bluesky.social? There I will do social media rehab and post pictures of my dog. At first I read that, I thought it said dong, and I was like, whoa, shit. Damn.
Oh, now the real Mike Wise is finally coming out on Blue Sky.
There I will do social media rehab and post pictures of my dong and say nice things about good people doing good things. I'm so sure. Until some loser piss ... Look, I'm trying, okay?
Hi-oh!
My first question is, who actually wrote this post for Mike Wise?
You don't think that was him?
Well, I mean,
why?
I just happen to know that whether it was Brendan Darr back in the day in the old call screening room, or that other Stephen Ball, the one that didn't work for Domino's.
The one that was 40?
Yeah.
When we were all like 21?
Yeah, now we're 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of those guys seem to assist in writing his columns.
But wasn't he a writer? Isn't he a writer?
Yeah, he was a Washington Post columnist.
Maybe he just didn't want to feel bothered. It was not worth his time. Yeah, I don't know. He might be onto something. But I mean, you know what? This Facebook post has that same sort of like humor that I remember from Mike Wise, and I'm using humor very lightly.
Yeah,
but.
yeah. All right, and guys, feel free to send us questions. We're going to be shitting on Mike Wise for the next hour.
Yeah,
because honestly, I can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday. I mean, this is years in the making.
I'll be completely honest. I did have a lot of dealings with him, but I feel like if this is the rare instance where you have more hatred in your heart for somebody than I do. So
it's not so much hatred. It's just I have a really hard time with people who come off as two-faced to me.
Yeah.
They say one thing publicly, and then privately they act a completely different way.
Oh, okay.
In fact, like, let's say, for instance, that person would frequently go on the air and be like, listen, be kind to each other. And I'm not one of those guys who says on the air that we shouldn't make black jokes and then go in the back room and make black jokes. And then he would go off the air and make black jokes.
Yeah. That is a very accurate portrayal of him behind the scenes.
I hate people like that. They're the worst kind of people, because it's like they're always putting on an air, and then everybody just has to pretend like, okay, I guess we're gonna act like this is really who this guy is, this fake imposter that we're all staring at every day.
Yeah, and it's not like it makes I think they think they're making the world a better place by putting out this image and forcing this sort of behavior onto people.
And those are the people too, and tell me if you've noticed this throughout your life, but those typically are the same people who, as much as they try to project this image onto the world, their true selves always like leak out.
Oh yeah, dude. The truth always comes to light, man. And actually, has it for? Well, I guess it is now. I was gonna say it has it for Michael. But okay. That is. Do you have any other pieces of evidence that you wanted to bring before we actually like do a deep dive into our experiences with this guy?
Well, I'll say just to the extent that, he was always hiding who he really was.
Yeah.
And it always leaks out. Remember when Jimmy Graham was like the baddest ass tight end in the league for like 3 years for the Saints
and the Seahawks? Yeah.
Yeah. And Wise went on the air and said, I think he's like a half breed of guns.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
It's like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where it's like they can't even, as much as they try to like paint around the edges and the corners and cover up like who they truly are, it always comes out.
Yeah, it always secretes out, as Mayor Eric Adams would say.
Yeah, no matter what you got in your popular knapsack,
the secret always comes out. Yeah, for sure, dude. Because I mean, all right, like, for instance, there are a couple topics that you and I try to avoid on the show, and I feel like we do a pretty good job.
Except for a couple days ago, which was probably the worst time to avoid, not to avoid.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or when you played a bunch of clips from a very old show.
All right.
Okay, all right. But yeah, dude, if it's in your heart, zings that some would deem tasteless. Look, you and I are we are never going to go on the offensive when it comes to tasteless humor.
Yeah,
or being offensive. But don't be somebody who champions a world that is free of that and then make your fucking bread and butter behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, there was a time, I think I told this story before. Oh, come on, you can't say that. Well, I told what that interaction was.
You know what? I can't think of a better time to do it right now.
Okay. All right. That was a real interaction. That was that's how my autistic brain works, dude. When I hear like a genuinely shocking conversation, the script just gets lodged in my head forever. And so I was listening to the show, and I think this was on air. It might have been off air, but Mike Wise was doing the show with Holden Duschner, and
I liked Holden, by the way.
Yeah.
Just state for the record.
Well, we might do episode 96 on Holden Duschner. I've fucking got some things to say about that guy. But so yeah, he's doing the show with Holden, and it was right around the time Jennifer Hudson's whole entire family got murdered.
Oh,
do you remember that? I forget the circumstances, but her family got killed.
That's awful.
Yeah, and like Holden's talking about it and be like, it's really messed. Like she sang at some national anthem bit or whatever, and he's like, it's really messed up that her family got killed. And Mike was like, huh, well, I'm glad it happened to her. And Holden's like, what? And he's like, yeah, maybe some people have these things coming to them. Like he was trying to do like a funny bit, like. That's not enough to bring out some sympathy for that woman.
Was he trying to do like a contrarian bit?
Yeah. He's like, I don't even think that's that big of a deal.
Maybe
now
someone should put
siege.
I hope somebody put a cross to your front yard, lit it on fire.
Yeah.
They did it.
And Holden's like, come on, Wise, you can't say that. And he starts talking his way, starts talking his way out of it. Makes another bad joke. Holden goes, oh. So yeah, dude, that was the type of offensive humor that he would. But again, you and I are never hearing someone make a shitty joke or an offensive joke. We can't get mad because we do it every Tuesday and Friday.
Literally twice a week.
Yeah. But yeah, there's certainly some conversations behind the scenes.
So I saw Wise. Come on, Wise. It's so hard not to say.
I know.
Come on, Wise.
You can't say that.
I saw him just making it clearly all about himself, like that he's leaving Twitter, jumping over to Blue Sky. I guess that's another burgeoning social media app, which that's fine if people want to.
No sports, no politics, but it's the type of social media app where if you post trans women are not real women, you'll get banned. Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
That's the type of. No sports, no politics. If that's your thing,
honestly, Othman, I have no idea why that's even relevant.
And I have a trans aunt. I almost said uncle. Trans aunt. So I'm on their side.
It always leaks out. So I don't know. I saw that he was making this all about himself, and it irritated me because it's like he was acting like a victim of Twitter. And Mike Wise is anything but a victim of Twitter. He used it as a tool he is a tool, but he used it as a tool to promote years, which many of us have. But he also used it as an agitator. He was constantly prodding and fucking with Redskins fans nonstop, trolling them nonstop, calling them bad people for supporting a quote unquote racist team name when in reality they're just rooting for their favorite fucking team that they grew up with since childhood. There's nothing wrong with that. You can argue the merits of whether or not the team name is morally wrong or bankrupt or whatever. That's fine, but that's a separate issue. To go out of your way to constantly troll Redskins fans, which he did ad nauseum for years on end, and then have your main takeaway when you quote unquote leave Twitter, saying that it's like this this awful hellhole place that turned him into this mean-spirited person. Fuck the fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You are what's wrong with Twitter, what you think is wrong with Twitter. It is a direct mirror image of you yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you talking about that just reminds me of the fact that like the majority of talking heads on in DC sports media, no sports, no politics, but the majority of them hate the Redskins, the Commanders, except for like the junkies.
Oh, you mean like people that like fly him?
Well, yeah, I mean, Mike Wise, was he from Hawaii or something like that?
He was like originally from Hawaii, and he grew up in California. Yeah. By the way, first of all, there's nothing worse than the outsider that comes in to tell everybody else what's wrong with them.
Yeah, you're
that
right.
Fucking stinks.
Yeah, and then LeVar, I mean, LeVar is fine, but it's not like he is in what's it called, the Ring of Honor, or like he left the team on good terms. So he was the other dude that was talking about the team, but yeah, man. Oh, should we tell people about the guest that we got coming on later?
Oh yeah, the original co-host of Mike Wise, Bill Rowland, will be joining us in about half an hour.
Hell yeah, dude! Nice booking, man.
I don't think anybody's got greater Mike Wise stories and more close and personal connections with Mike Wise.
Oh, yeah, he was his first co-host for what, like a year?
He had his shot. Bill Rowland had his shot.
I mean, it was a tall order for him to have to rein that dude in for a year, but yeah, dude. And he reached out to you?
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that's awesome.
He was like, guys, come on, like you gotta have me on to talk about this.
Hell yeah,
reach out to me? And I was like, Bill, you got your shot. Come on.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. So you were still doing promotions when you were a promotions coordinator when Mike Wise was doing the show. Did you have any situations where you are coordinating a food drop or something like that, and he demands lo mein and you drop it in the gravel and anything like that? Like,
no, but he was very much like I said, the guy that says one thing on the air and then says something completely different off the air. There were a lot of times where, I'd be setting up his broadcast studio at the AT&T studios, which was downtown at Gallery Place in DC,
right next to Hooters. Like, yeah, that was a good time. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And dude, I remember like when his wife was first pregnant. I probably shouldn't say this, but fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
IDM, guys.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah.
None of this matters.
Yeah.
When his wife was pregnant, he was like, he was on the air and he was talking about how much of an honor it was to be a father in the wings and waiting.
Yeah.
Then he gets off the air and he turns to me and he goes, I was there for the pregnancy and you can see their pussy. And it's disgusting.
Ew, dude.
I was like, dude, why did you say that on the air?
Yeah, that's way more entertaining.
You actually have good ratings if you say that shit.
Okay, so it sounds to me like your biggest gripe with the guy is that he wouldn't let his entertaining personality on the air.
You know what? That's an interesting way of framing it. Sure. You could say that.
Here's one thing he told me one time. Not me. I was in the room and he told, I don't know, LeVar or Dukes.
You could see their pussy. It's disgusting.
That's so gross, dude. I mean, and that is his biggest takeaway from his child being brought into this world. It's so fucking gross, dude.
I don't know why I remember all this stuff, by the way.
He there was a female on-air personality.
Mm-hmm.
No names, no politics. I don't want to say her name, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. And she came in to do something on the air and then walked out. And he goes, what did he say? He basically said that he wants to like sew her eyes together shut with his semen
Oh,
or something like
gross.
that. Yeah. I know, dude. It was way too far. It's like, dude, that's not even saying you want to fuck her. That's saying you want to like inflict like serious pain and damage to her face. What the fuck? Who fantasizes about that?
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the real Mike Wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got
He
paid
probably looks at the same type of stuff you do on X videos.
a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, just be yourself, dude. Just
Yeah.
be honest with people.
We actually have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, he got paid $300,000 a year. I know that because he used to brag about it.
yeah.
To have other people write his columns for the Post
God damn it, dude.
and show up late to every single sporting event I ever saw him at.
You know, dude, I'm glad print media is dead. Fuck those fucking assholes, dude.
These were the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
These were the people behind the scenes. This is who they really are. And these are the people telling you that you should be admonished.
Yeah.
You don't
dude.
deserve to have a voice or a platform. These are the people.
Dude, and all that money, and they're paying. It's like they're paying. Dude, it's almost exactly like the breakdown of wealth between just the world population. Don't they say, what is it? 99% of the wealth is held by the top 1% or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that is exactly how these media companies work with the salaries. Like the big names. And dude, honestly, I'd never even heard of Mike Wise before he was the midday host. Have you? Don't lie. Don't try to be like, oh, I read newspapers.
No, I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
He popped up and I don't know if this was his idea or this was just like a way of selling him, which, okay, I get it. Like you got to find a way to spin shit out of dog shit somehow, right?
Yeah.
But he was like being billed when he first came into the Defiance. So we're going back to July, August 2009 at this point.
Uh-huh.
As the next Tony Kornheiser.
Oh, okay.
Now I look, I'm not a huge Tony Kornheiser fan, but I get his appeal.
Uh-huh.
And I do not get Mike Wise's appeal whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that he just kind of fell very flat and short of meeting that threshold as his ratings would dictate, certainly.
Yeah. Yeah, because they didn't factor into the equation that he was like a huge clown idiot.
Well, and also the other thing is, and this always rankled me for sure. Wrinkled me.
Mm-hmm.
I always had immense discontent for people that came in and disrespected radio. Like, for as much as we joke about Chad Dukes, that guy lived and breathed for radio.
Yeah.
And he honored the craft. He was a wordsmith and all that shit, right? The Junkies live and breathe for radio. Eric Bickle lives and breathes for radio.
Mm-hmm.
When Mike Wise showed up, it was like he was the guy that was going to do zero prep before his show, constantly lean on his producers and his co-hosts, which, okay, first couple of months while you're learning the ropes, okay, sure. But when that is your ingrained process over the course of years, dude, just complete fucking disrespect. In fact, I'll give you a prime example. If you can look to the screen, go ahead and direct your attention to the screen right now. Mm-hmm. This was an old tweet I dug up of a listener tweeting Mike Wise saying that your first sentence of every show made 95% of your Junkies lead-in audience turn you off. Again, Mike Wise came on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Junkies were 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So he had the best lead-in basically in the entire DC radio market.
Okay. All right.
So again, this guy says your first sentence of every show made 95% of your Junkies lead-in audience turn you off. It was cringeworthy. And Mike Wise's response to that was, I was purposely trying to lose that audience. I'm so glad that you were one of them.
I'm so sure, dude. I'm so sure.
Now, if you guys don't recall, which I would say most of you, again, according to the ratings, do not recall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mike Wise began every show the same exact way, with giving his take on Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams. You can try to look up the video, but the original one with EB is gone. And he would launch every show with U2. What was that song?
Fuck yeah, I can't pull it right now.
And then he would grab the microphone, swing it around wildly, and then go, "Good morning, Washington! Welcome to my Wise Show."
Yeah, dude.
It's funny to us looking back on, but it was wildly grating in the moment.
Dude. I'm getting a little bit of PTSD hearing you do it, dude. Because I remember it, like it was almost like as just a reminder of having something annoying that you have to tolerate in the workplace. You know what I mean? Because like no matter where you were in the office, because it was a very tiny office, you heard that because it was so loud, and like you're saying, he was making all this commotion in the studio. But yeah, dude, I mean, oh my God. I mean, the most frustrating thing for me was the constant fucking, the constant bits they would bring in that comedian to come in and do.
Matt Kazam,
dude. Fucking, I mean, look, I don't respect comedians anymore. I did respect them back then. But this dude, I mean, he was just so nubby, dude.
Oh, he was low grade comedian. His marquee bit was, "You ever been to Denny's?"
Yeah. I'm trying to, can I pull up one of, so they would do like parody songs.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And I think what would happen is like you just alluded to earlier, the guy, Matt Kazam, poor guy, just trying to make a buck, but he was very unfunny and very annoying. I think he would write out all the shit. Like he would write out all the lyrics and just bring them in, and they would fucking they would do them. And here's an example of one about funny Washington. Okay, here's one about Albert Hainsworth. Remember all the drama with Albert Hainsworth?
Oh yeah, he was flopping all over the field.
Yeah.
Mike Shanahan made him take like a physical performance test.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, we got just all right. Here we go.
Yeah, this was the kind of radio you got on 106.7 The Fan from 10 to 2.
Why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? Shuttle drills so hard. I need some Cold Stone Creamery. I want a shot of tequila. Don't want to end up a nose guard. The 3-4 defense. Gold digger, gold digger. Eating hot dogs in the moonlight. Far away from touching my toes. Mr. Beer Belly, get this salad away from me. You know I don't find this stuff tasty anymore. If you'll be my nose guard, I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Shanny, and Shanny, when you call me, you can call me Fat Al.
Okay.
I mean, it's, quality bit, right?
I mean, yeah. It's like
and you know what? Honestly, it's not fair to say that nobody listened to the Mike Wise Show.
Yeah.
Because we did go to Gold's Gym, and I believe his name was Nikhil, who ran the front desk at Gold's Gym and Tyson's.
Oh, dude, yeah. He used to talk to me every single morning about it. Like, dude, they did the greatest bits on that show. I could not believe the song that he played.
And he was so pissed when Mike Wise got taken off the air.
Oh, he was heartbroken. Yeah.
In fact, that brings me to another old tweet I found. Mike Wise had an interesting take on why he lost his show in responding to an old fan on Twitter. Again, Wise was on, I believe, from like 2009 to 2014.
Okay.
His first co-host was Bill Rowland. His second co-host was Holden Kushner, if I remember correctly. And then his third was Siege, his producer.
Oh, Danny Rouillet wasn't in there?
Danny Rouillet was in there for stretch too. For
okay.
Like a year, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Wise, his personal reflection on why he lost his show is that, no, I lost my show because of management. They didn't want to pay my producer as a co-host. I was sick of them and they were sick of me.
Fucking Siege, man.
Yeah, I would say maybe having a 2-share might have had something to do with it too, but I don't know. Could be wrong. Let's check in with the dogs real quick.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Oh yeah, D-Tech Poho. He brings up Poho. Remember Poho?
Oh yeah, Poe. We'll get to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Poe.
D-Tet. Mike Wise and Othello both jumped into icy waters to save a dog. Yeah, too soon, dude. Let's see. Matty Bumpo is Mike Wise mad about people asking for military discounts at his store? I get that joke. If it was MySpace, do you think a U2 song would be playing on his page for that post? Baller Bill Rowland, D-Tet says. Yes, we will get to him soon. Corey Rita, Mike Wise definitely looks like gay porn. I should have read that in my head before I read it out loud.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yo, by the way, happy birthday to Corey Rita. I know it's his birthday today.
Shout outs, bro.
All right. So, yeah, for sure. Let's do the big time P1 shout outs, and then we got our guest after that. All right, yeah, we got a big guest after that. Okay, here we go.
It's time for our big time P1 shout out.
Beginning, we love y'all. Thank you for keeping the show going so we can do fun shit like this on the Fridays and Saturdays. But shout outs to Alex, shout outs to AJ McCown, Alex Davis, Brendan Cooney, Brendan Smith, shout outs to Brent Wenzel, Brian Altman, shout outs to Brian Busties, Danny Loudermilk, David Slat, shout outs to Don DeMarco, Ernesto Ladon, shout outs to Craven Moorhead, James Faz, James M. Shout outs to Jen Montana. Ain't nothing to fuck with. Shout outs to, hope to see her next Saturday, by the way. That'd be sick. Shout outs to JP Flame, Kevin Smith, Korean John, Chris Stein. Shout outs to Kyle Kogan, M_Jizzle, Matt Broderick, Matt Starcheck, and Matt Starcheck. Shout outs to Max has a 1-inch penis, Peter Rosenkrantz, Philip J. Shout outs to Reggie, Ron Mexico, and our guy at Instagram.com/Brad Paints This. Shout outs to Sean Kibler, William, and Lubomir. That is our $8 tier. You guys can subscribe to It Doesn't Matter on Patreon at patreon.com/IDM pod. We do shows 2 times a week, Tuesdays and usually Fridays, but this week was special, so it's a Saturday. Patreon.com/IDM pod. We appreciate y'all, and let's get to our very esteemed guest.
Let's fucking do it, dude. Love this guy. Super excited to talk to him. You guys know him. Well, some of you guys know him as Baller Bill Rowland. Others know him as you said it, Mike Wise's first co-host, right? Let's give it up for Bill Rowland. What's up, dude?
What's good, gentlemen? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got
great,
you, Bill.
dude.
Dude, you're
right,
bald. You're almost as bald as me now, Bill.
I know. It's terrible. Hey, look at that. It's all gone, man.
Bill has caught up to you?
Yeah, but Bill's had a rough go of it the last couple of years.
Yeah, I know.
Bill, how you doing, man? Health-wise?
Good. Oh, yeah, thanks. No, guys, I'm good. I appreciate you asking. Yeah, it was a rough go for it about 4 years ago, but we're good. All good.
Good, man. I told you you'd make it through.
Yeah, exactly. No, I appreciate it. You guys, again, I'm impressed. I didn't realize. I remember when you launched it. I didn't realize we're up to episode 93. That is amazing. I'm just hoping that I'm not episode 95 now. I hope I'm not episode 97 after you rip on Holden. I don't want to be the next one.
No, never that, man.
That would be so fucked up. We do Mike Wise, then we do Holden, and then we do Bill Rowland.
Let's tell you the truth about that fucking asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We had him on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That guy fucking sucks.
No, man. Bill, you were one of the one of the rare gems behind the scenes. It was actually like nice to the what would you call it? The peons, the lower class of the help in radio.
Yeah, the dipshits.
Yeah, for sure. The turds.
I've never, because I was there the same way you guys were when I first started out. It never made any sense to me to treat people that poorly, because at some point you guys were going to be, moving up the ladder and being in charge of something. I mean, Look,
Well.
Shorts, you worked there.
Yeah.
Well, but Shorts, you worked there a lot longer than a lot of other people did. I mean, you were at JFK a lot longer than I was. So, I just never understood the whole getting on people, making fun of them, treating them like shit. It just never made any sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. There's some people that just like see it as this like rite of passage where once you graduate to like a certain level, you're allowed to treat people like assholes.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that just kind of treat people with compassion and like human beings. And you were always one of those guys. So we always appreciate it.
I mean, I'll be honest. I definitely treated some people like assholes, like an asshole for I want to say like for a 6-month stretch, because that's how I was being. Like when something would go wrong on the show, I would get you screamed at, right? And
right, of course.
So I was like 23, 24, and I was my dumb young brain just figured that was how you deal with like stressful situations. So I was like, if I'm getting screamed at, I'm going to scream at you because, that's how you handle these situations. Eventually, one of the interns stood up to me. He was like, hey, don't do that to me anymore. I was like, you know what? You're right, dude. I shouldn't do that to you anymore. So, yeah. I think also people like listen to Stern growing up, and they just want like to recreate the magic of shit, him shitting on Baba Booey and stuff like that. So,
like pick up different colored peanuts and shit like that off the floor.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So Bill,
yeah, man,
obviously the reason we're all here today is to shit on Mike Wise. What do you remember of your time with Mike and working with him? And I believe, again, you were his first co-host, if I remember correctly.
I was indeed the first co-host. We started July of 2009 is when the station launched, and I made it all the way until April. I didn't quite make a year like you guys thought. I made it till April. Here's how that went down, by the way, just to tell you how I got removed from that show.
Give me
yeah, this is amazing. I went with my girlfriend at the time. We took her kids. We went on spring break. Don't remember where we went, but I'm gone for the week, whatever.
Punta Cana.
It was the Caribbean, but it wasn't Punta Cana. But got back from that vacation, went in, and then like that Monday, CK, who was of course the program director at the time, calls me in and he's like, hey, we're going to make a change. And I was like, okay, I get it, whatever. The funny thing was that was supposed to be a surprise. Wise could not contain himself. He always loved to be the bearer of bad news. He called me the night before and said, hey, man, I'm not sure what's going on, but, I'm hearing things that CK may want to make a change. And I was like, so I played dumb. I was just like, oh, okay, I got it. Absolutely knew that he was the one that was like, I can't work with this guy, blah, blah, blah. It's because I would call him on his bullshit all the time. And then you see how long it lasted with Holden. And it didn't. Yeah. And they ended up splitting the midday show. I think Wise was either still 10 to noon and then Holden was noon to 2, or it was the other way around or whatever it was. And then they had CJ, and that blow up was unbelievable how that ended. I mean, it was unbelievable. So
he was the guy that knifed you in the back, but then
at 1,000%, and that has been confirmed by more than one person that worked at the station at the time.
Dude, that plays perfectly into the shit you've been saying at the beginning of the show.
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, no, look, I've always tried to maintain at least a cordial relationship with him because, again, it doesn't do you any good to hate on somebody. I don't work with him anymore. He has nothing to do with my life anymore, so I'm cordial with him. But at no point would I ever work with him again. Absolutely not. At no point would I ever want to be involved in anything that he has any involvement of at all. And I'm laughing at you bringing up the old tweets because, of course, he put that tweet out about how he was leaving Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, on November 15th. Well, go look at his X account. A, it's still active. He didn't delete it. It's still there. And B, a week after he said he was leaving, he's still responding to people. He cannot stand to have people talking about him without trying to get the last word. And he always, without fail, will go to an insult before anything else.
Oh,
he cannot walk away from things. He can't do it.
He loved, if you look at his replies, because I was looking at that today, and he's
childish, first off.
He would love to throw around like these big words that he learned from somebody else. Like he would always be like, ad hominem attacks are really lowbrow and they're just not becoming of people. He is the king of ad hominem attacks. He loves taking personal shots at people, bringing up
Yep.
shit that they can't control, and using it against them in arguments. He's a shitty person.
The thing that I never liked is, I mean, look, none of us, other than you two guys, were in great shape back then when we were all working at the station. Everybody looked like they worked in radio. We all needed to lose a few pounds. His favorite insult to somebody, if he didn't have anything else to say, because he was usually losing an argument, would be to say, well, I don't know, maybe if you mixed in a salad every now and then, it would make more sense. And it's like,
Oh my god, dude.
what are you talking? He would just make fat jokes all the time. He would go after Chad that way all the time. He would go anybody that he thought was out of shape on any level, he'd go after. But it's not like he was some Adonis.
I know.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
he was some, I mean, it's like, what are you talking about? So
I
yeah,
mean, he looked like Slender Man. Wait, he would say that to Dukes' face?
oh yeah, because
Oh,
remember,
yeah, I didn't know that.
we would do the
The
crosstalk
crosstalk,
stuff.
yeah. Right.
And so we would do it obviously with the junkies, and then Chad or LeVar would come in and do it with us. And so we'd be talking about whatever topic, and inevitably Chad and him would butt heads on whatever it was and would disagree. And Wise would be going on about, you know, whatever, what this, that, blah. And you know what, Chad, if you mixed in a salad, it would make more sense. Oh, I'm just kidding. Ha. And it's like,
Oh,
what?
okay.
Remember his thing when he'd always go, you know, he'd tell a joke and he'd get real handsy and all manic, and then be like, no, you go ahead. That was, it's like, what? Like he wouldn't finish his point. He'd just be like, no, you go. It's like, what are you talking about?
The important question here, Bill, I think, is what sucked most about working with him?
Was it Matt Kazam?
See, here's the thing.
Was
Here's
it
the thing
Siege?
about Kazam. The funny thing is, and I don't want to speak out of school on this, I have a good feeling that Siege not a fan of his at the end either.
I actually like Siege. I mean,
I do too.
I know he was, you know, not the most beloved there, but he was always nice to me. So that's all I have to go off of.
Yeah, I never had a problem with him. Siege and I worked way back before we even worked at 106.7 back in another lifetime. We were both at WTEM way back in the day. But no, the thing that sucked, you guys touched on it a little bit. I was listening before I came on that, you know, just the lack of preparation. I mean, from a professional standpoint, forget the personal stuff. There's so much personally that you guys hit on over and over again about what a Weasley is and everything else. But just the complete unprofessionalism of walking in and thinking because he was a sports columnist for the Washington Post that he knew everything. And then you get into conversations and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, this guy has no clue what he's talking about. And he just dragged you down with him, trying to get you to agree with him on some of the stuff. You're like, hey man, no, I'm not anti-Redskins name. Like if they want to change it, cool. If they don't want to change it, cool. It doesn't affect me at all. And he, of course, I know no politics, no sports. He was one of those guys that was just like, no, but you got to stick up for the press. And I was like, I'm not sure changing the Washington Redskins name is going to make the life on the reservation that some of these people are living under, which in some places is horrific. It ain't going to fix that. Like suddenly they're called the Commanders of the Washington football team. You know what? Those people still have the same, you know, rent to pay, the same unemployment problems. None of that changes because the Washington football team is suddenly called the Commanders instead of the Redskins. That's the point that I always tried to make is no, it's about a self-esteem thing. And I'm like, dude, that is like 100 on the list of things that would help them with self-esteem. You might get to that if you named 100 of them.
Yeah, it's an empty.
Annoying.
It's an empty gesture. You're right on the mark there. And in fact, when I was writing for the website at the Fion, I didn't really have the resources of time to like develop this into a story, but I did like some cursory research into it. And I called around to like different Native American reservations and, you know, where you could like make donations and just like help out in some way. And this was at the height of Mike Wise beating the drum to get that Redskins name changed. Yes. Wah, 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 wah. And I would,
Whoa, dude. No play.
and I would call them. I would call them, and I'd be like, "Well, are you guys aware that this is a huge issue?" And they were like, "Yes, in DC, we understand it's a big issue." And I was like, "Well, have things gotten better since it's become a big issue? Are people donating more? Are the lives of Native Americans being improved?" And they all flat out said no, unequivocally.
Correct.
Place after place after place that I called. And that's when I started really starting to analyze like what a big waste of time it all was. And honestly started changing my opinion to the fact that not only is it not helping, it's actually probably hurting, because you're taking away a prized mascot that really does represent like proud people, and you're just sweeping it under the rug and acting like they don't exist even more. It's I hate this word, but it's erasure is really what it is.
Yeah. And again, I've said it from the very beginning about this argument on the name, and it's going to go on forever and ever and ever. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. I don't care what they call the team. It doesn't matter. It's their team. Call it whatever you want. And I always said the people that made the argument of, oh, but I watched Super Bowl, whatever, with my grandfather, and if you change the name, you're taking that from. It's like, no, that you still watch that game with your grandfather. You still have that memory. Just because the team isn't called the same thing, that shouldn't change how you feel about watching whatever Super Bowl was with your grandparents. It's the same. It's still the same memory. I mean, it's dumb. That argument that you're erasing your childhood memories is just stupid. But one wise story I will tell you, and this is, again, I cannot verify this. It was told to me secondhand by somebody who knew his girlfriend before he got married. So not the same woman. This was a person that he dated before his current wife.
Oh, spicy.
Yes, it is spicy. Remember, Wise used to go on various shows. I think it was on Around the Horn on occasion, or whatever the other various shows were. He used to enjoy, or maybe it was the Redskins Weekly that he did when George Michael was still, doing the sports thing, and it'd be taped. He used to love watching himself back on those shows while in, let's just say, the company of women.
Oh my God, dude.
Come on, Wise.
You can't say that.
Dude, I'm just saying
that is the lamest shit I've ever heard in my entire life, dude. Imagine
he would watch himself on TV while enjoying some social time with his girlfriend.
Dude. I mean, it's one thing if you're a musician or something and you like, oh yeah, my album went platinum. I don't know why I'm being a rapper in this impression, but yeah, let's play my shit real quick. But dude, hearing yourself talk about fucking a team's O-line or their fucking tight ends coach while you're railing at it, shit, that is the lamest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I cannot confirm it. He did not tell me that story, but I did hear it from someone else who knew the woman very, very well. So,
oh, baby, watch this part where I bring up Adam Archuleta. What the fuck is he thinking, dude? That is so lame.
But I mean, but it goes to the point, like Shorts was saying earlier, that he would try to come across one way in the public sphere, but as soon as the microphones went off or the camera shut off or whatever, behind the scenes, he was probably worse than any of us as far as being a complete degenerate at times.
Oh, for sure. Do you think he would have been better served to just come, like, just let that personality live on the air?
No, because by the time he got to 106.7, he had developed this personality already that, this bleeding heart left wing liberal.
No sports, no politics.
Sorry, no sports, no politics. Sorry about that. No, that he had this, again, personality, if you want to call it, or whatever it was, that he had already developed. So it would have totally blown up what he already had established.
He couldn't take his mask off.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. He would have been seen for the fraud that he was, and eventually people did figure it out that he was a fraud.
Man, dude.
Speaking of which, our buddy Drab, who's still with the Junkies,
love Drab. I see him all the time. Yeah,
we're all still friends with Drab. Everybody loves Drab, but he had like a personal, a professional rough patch,
right?
where he got booted off the LeVar and Duke show. He was like their original producer, and it was a real black eye for Drab professionally, and it was embarrassing to him. He felt shamed about it, understandably. On the day of Drab's wedding, this is a tweet that Mike Wise sent to Drab T-shirt. Again, the day that he's getting married, one of the best moments of his life.
Well, yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. Mike Wise tweets Drab T-shirt. Can't wait to hear LeVar give his best man toast.
Oh, come on, Wise, dude.
That's just that. I mean, that's what it is. As we talked about, he cannot do anything or be happy for anybody else. He has to constantly be dragging other people down. Like, that's just not. Here's the thing: if that's somebody else that's friends with Drab and everything else, maybe it's funny if that's in a group chat with a bunch of people, right? That have a personal relationship. Then it could be fun. But Drab wasn't boys with Mike Wise. You can't do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean,
even though they had the same haircut.
Hey, dude, you're shitting on everybody but yourself.
I mean, I can't say anything. I got nothing left either, so I got nothing to say there.
No, you're right though. Yeah, that is insane. Reminding somebody of the moment they got. Honestly, he got promoted because of that.
Eventually,
look where Drab is now. I think it worked out pretty well.
It worked out for sure. But reminding someone of their worst, experience in their career the day they get married—that's insane.
It'd be like when I'm about to have a baby on February 7th, Lord willing. If somebody was like, "Hey, remember when Deadspin picked up that article where you put all the audio of the Junkies and Duke saying the F word?" And I'd be like, cool, this is a pretty big moment for me. But thanks for sucker punching me.
You name your kid the F word. Bill, did you know that? Did you know Shorts is having a kid?
I found out tonight when Shorts reached out to me. I was I'm glad you guys had me. I'm having a blast. But I saw the post on, I guess it was Instagram, and I just jokingly wrote back, "I can't believe you didn't invite me to come on." I wasn't expecting anything. And then Shorts called me. He's like, "Hey man, you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah, why the fuck not? Let's go."
Yeah, dude. That's our. I mean, this is me and Short's last attempt at doing anything like publicly. You know what I mean? Just because we've had so many failures in our life. But at this point, we're just going no holds barred, just putting it all out there. But we don't assume that other people feel the same way. So, I think we would have reached out to you, but we feel like we're hesitant to ask people to talk shit publicly because you know how people are, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, if I ran into the guy, would I go and sit down and have a beer with him? Sure. I mean, he's pleasant enough as that goes, but I'm not working with him because again, you get into that type of a relationship with that type of guy who now everybody has seen what he's like. It sullies you. I still to this day have friends of mine that will be like, "I can't believe you did that show with Mike Wise," and not in a good way. Not like, "Man, that was a great show." It was like. It was so bad. He's like, they're just like, "I can't believe you did that." And I was like,
what were you supposed to do though? That was like a big moment in your career. I remember
I had to take it.
The launch of the fan when you guys had those custom Wizards jerseys and all that shit. Like, of course,
size 56 that don't fit, too big to frame, too big to wear the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, it was cool that they gave him to us. Yeah, it was awesome. You had to take the opportunity. I wish, and I look back on it now, I wish I had been able to have the guts at the time, 3 months into it, to go to CK and say, "This is not going to work. We've got to figure something out." I know I would have been the one that they would have got rid of. I know that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why you couldn't do it.
But Holden did it within 6 months. Holden went to him and said, "I can't do this." Now, maybe because he was the second co-host, that Wise kind of ran off. Maybe that's why, that CK was more willing to do it. But yeah, I knew 3 months in, boy, this is going to be a slog because all it was him trying to be funny. There's nothing worse than a funny guy who's not, or somebody who thinks they're funny or trying to be funny who's not. We all know those types of guys. They're
we love Grant. Dude. I don't know why I said that.
Sorry, Grant.
I love Grant. I love Grant.
Grant's great.
Yeah. I mean, there's just, and Wise was that way. And by the way, the song, the YouTube song is Where the Streets Have No Name.
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
had to actually we had an argument. And this is where I did give a lot of respect for CJ, because CJ was coming in again. He had worked with Wise when Wise used to come in on the sports reporters over on WTEM and would do that show with them. So that's how CJ knew him.
Yeah.
Wise wanted that. That's a long intro to that song. If you listen to it, it's a long ass intro.
It's like a 15-minute song.
Right. He wanted the entire intro before we came out, like 2.5 minutes before he opened up the mic. He's like, it'll start the vibe, guys. We got to start the vibe. And CJ looked at him and said, "You're out of your mind. We're cutting this down. You're going to get like 20 seconds, and then you can come on the air." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, man." I'm like, but I don't like you two to begin with. So that really set me off, because I was like, every day I got to listen to this song.
Doesn't that speak to like the disrespect of the craft, though? Like,
yes.
For better or for worse, radio is a very polished science. You have this many minutes to get your points in, get to your break, get all the commercials in. It's like 15-minute segments. You really can't deviate. There's not a lot of time to deviate. And for the guy who's not the radio lifer to come in and tell all the radio guys, we're going to have a song with a 6-minute intro to start every single show. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And I want to say the first week of the show, I actually was doing all the traffic cop stuff. People not in radio. I see Doug's here in the chat. So Doug understands this. I'm bringing it in. I'm bringing it out. I'm changing the topics. I'm going to the phones, all that kind of stuff. And after the first week, he literally looks at me. And this was like point one where I go, okay, this is not going to work. He looks at me and he goes, "I know you're the radio guy, but my name is on the show. I'm doing this from now on."
Get the fuck out of here.
And I looked at CJ and he just kind of shrugged his shoulders. I said, "Okay."
Yeah, because he's the guy making all the money. So what are you going to do? Yeah.
Right. And it was awful. I mean, he wasn't good at it. So, I mean, you just kind of go, all right, well, you're right. Your name's on the show. So when it's terrible, and as you guys, said, earlier, and it gets a 2 share, it's the Mike Wise show that got the 2 share. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's weird to me that he walked in with this, like, I'm a celebrity type of vibe, and like, do you think Sally Jenkins thinks she's a celebrity?
Probably.
Or do you think like Barry Sperluga?
Barry does not. I can confirm that.
Okay.
But I thought you got to remember when he was coming in, the whole thing was it's an FM version of Tony Kornheiser.
Oh yeah.
And Kornheiser was a celebrity. Kornheiser was on ESPN. He was doing all these things. Wise was supposed to be like the next Kornheiser or whatever. And he always thought about that. We'd be in breaks and we'd have some guest on that he thought was, a home run. It's like, dude, anybody can get these guests. It's not that hard.
Right.
And he'd be like, he'd be finished and be like, "Oh, do you think Kornheiser could have had that guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, probably." Like,
right.
It's not that hard. I mean, and the other thing you talk about him just not having any type of filter. Worst thing that ever happened when we were on the air doing stuff. We had John Heyman. If you guys know John Heyman, sorry again, no sports, no politics, but it was a sports show.
Yeah.
John Heyman, the sports writer. It's well known in the industry. It's not a secret that he and Scott Boras, the agent, have a very close relationship. So when Heyman starts breaking news of where a guy may sign or for how much or whatever, it's probably coming directly from Boras, right? So we have John Heyman on, and I forget who we were talking about, the player. And Wise, I asked the first question to John, he answered it, and Wise, without thinking, and we had the conversation right before we came on. Hey, man, do not mention Scott Boras to him. He gets a lot of information from Boras, but he's not going to out him on the air. So avoid any type of question like that. Stupid mistake, because he's OCD and he's stupid. Wise, his first question. John, I know you're a mouthpiece for Scott Boras. What can you tell me about? And I mean, guys, I'm not exaggerating. I literally put my hands like this and put my head down And for the entire answer of John Heyman, I'm just thinking, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? How do I change this? Because Heyman was pissed. And the interview lasted about 4 minutes. It was supposed to be a 12-minute segment. And we got done. I just looked at him. He goes, "Oh, I know." He goes, "But you put it in my head because you put that thought there. And my brain works." And I'm like, "You're an idiot." I was like, "Yeah, well," and I just said, "He's never coming on again. You fucked us." I was like, "That's great."
Bill, I just want to run a couple of comments by you from some of our listeners, some of the dogs, real quick. And we can play a quick game of confirm or deny. Can you confirm or deny that Mike Wise definitely looks at gay porn?
Dude.
I have no idea. I am not familiar with his browsing habits, so I can't confirm or deny. Sorry. All right, so say I can't confirm. I won't deny it, but I can't confirm it.
All right. Let's see.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who it was. I'm not gonna say if it was Mike Wise or Siege or S-Ball or Bill or anybody associated with the show. But I will say that there was one time we did an event at Nats Park. We all had the awesome Diamond Club access shit. Yeah. You remember that? I think it's like if you're sitting behind behind home plate, you get that. And there's like all this open bars and stuff. And I'll never forget this. Somebody, I'm not gonna say who, but somebody very closely associated with the show goes, I'll tell you, you never lived until you see a black guy railing out your girlfriend in front of you. And I was like, whoa.
Come on, Wise.
I swear to God, dude. And that was when I realized
that's when you gained respect for Mike Wise, is what you're saying?
No. I will be able to say I can confirm that was not me.
Yeah. No, definitely not Bill. But
did not say that. Yeah.
All right, Bill. Thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. Love you, dude.
Love you, dude. Let's get you on again another time when we're not talking about Mike Wise.
You know what? Anytime, I'm always available for you guys. You want me on, we'll do it. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Always love it. I'm so happy for your success. Again, I remember when you guys first started this. You're up to episode 95. I think it's awesome. Keep plugging away, and happy holidays to you and yours. If we don't talk shorts, congratulations, man, again on the kid. That is awesome news. I was so happy when you told me over the phone tonight. So keep killing it, guys. And anytime you want me, you got my number. Reach out. I'm glad to do it.
Thanks, Bill. I wish you continued good health, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Goodbye to everybody. See you guys.
Peace. Oh, we love Bill, man.
Love Bill. Dude. We gotta thank our title sponsor.
Oh yeah, of course. Let's get to that.
Bill's the best. Mike Wise sucks too. So. Guys, Mike Cook is the only plumber you need in the Northern Virginia area. Mike Cook is a small business owner. You need to support him. He does a great job, great work. He does large jobs or small jobs. There's no job too big or too small for our guy, Mike Cook. Next time you need a plumber, give Mike a call at 703-501-1926. That's 703-501-1926. Mike Cook has owned and operated his small business all over Northern Virginia for the past 20 years. Here's the best part. You don't have to take our word for it. Just give Mike a call, mention IDM. He'll not only give you a free estimate, show up to your house, take a look at your problem, assess it, and for free, he'll tell you how much it'll cost. But if you mention IDM on the phone with him, he'll hook you with a 10% discount off that final total. So give Mike a call, 703-501-1926. Mike is a huge supporter of this show, so if you support Mike Cook by giving him your business, you're supporting IDM.
Hell yeah. Or, ask any of the dogs that are going to be there in about a week.
Next Saturday, November 30th, is Thanksgiving too. Guys, we hope to see you guys out there. It's going to be at Lost Rhino Brewing Company in Ashburn, Virginia. That's Saturday, November 30th at 12 p.m. And then if enough of you show up, we'll do a live podcast at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely be doing a live podcast at 1 p.m. at Lost Rhino Brewing Company in Ashburn, Virginia, next Saturday, November 30th. That is 21730 Red Rum Drive in Ashburn, VA. I believe they're going to be having live music after our live podcast wraps up. So it's going to be a great fucking time. We hope to see you guys out there. It's a very central location to the DC area. It's going to be a blast. It'll give you a couple days to get your family stuff done for Thanksgiving. But yeah, we can't wait to see you guys. With that, let's head on over to the Patreon.
Dude, I got a banger of a story to tell you.
Fuck yeah.
From today.
Yeah, that's enough of sports.
Yeah.
But we couldn't pass up this opportunity to shit on Mike Wise for an hour
Yeah,
straight.
Right.
When I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's definitely something we would do. So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys over on Patreon, patreon.com/IDM pod. The real show is about to start. Love y'all. See you there.
All right, players. Peace.